Hello, my Alpha Squad. Today we're diving deep into Ghost of Tsushima, a game that's not just a story or a battle of the blade. It's an immersive experience, a visual masterpiece, and a gripping narrative. Released in July 2020, Ghost of Tsushima captured hearts and continues to set the standard for visually stunning storytelling, historical immersion, and impactful character development. Nearly 4 years later, it remains a top-tier title, and today I'll guide you through the elements that make it unforgettable. For those unfamiliar with the game, Ghost of Tsushima places you in the role of Jin Sakai, a samurai warrior charged with defending his homeland Tsushima Island from the Mongol invasion of 1274. This isn't just a game about warfare, it's a major emotional journey through cultural conflict and the devastating impact of invasion. The Mongols are a formidable force, and Jin's quest to protect his people pushes him to make tough, sometimes painful choices. It's a game that asks you, what are you willing to sacrifice to survive? Jin's struggle with honor and survival is a powerful narrative thread, and Sucker Punch masterfully weaves it into every aspect of the game. When I first experienced Ghost of Tsushima, it was through the trailer shown at Paris Games Week in 2017, and from that moment I was hooked. That trailer didn't just introduce us to a new game, it introduced us to a fully realized world with rich, layered storytelling. We see Jin standing silently facing down Khotun Khan, the ruthless Mongol leader, and this single scene set the tone for the entire experience. It wasn't about gameplay or mechanics, yet it was about immersion, about capturing the feel of the era and the weight of Jin's struggle. Then came E3 2018, where we got our first real look at gameplay, and Sucker Punch didn't hold back. They unveiled the guiding wind mechanic, which replaced traditional waypoints and map markers with a gust of wind guiding players toward assure objectives. This feature doesn't just add aesthetic beauty, it changes the way you interact with the world. You're not just following arrows on a map, you're observing the landscape, seeing where the wind takes you, and experiencing the world of Tsushima as Jin would. The guiding wind lets you explore with a sense of purpose and discovery, creating an organic connection between the player and the environment. It's a brilliant move that keeps you engaged without taking you out of the immersion. Then there's the combat. The precision and elegance of samurai combat were key, and Sucker Punch nailed it. The moment you see Jin engage an enemy, you know you're not playing a hack and slash game. Every move is deliberate, every clash intentional and intense. The first combat encounter we saw was raw and demanding, showcasing the game's focus on timing and skill. This wasn't a game where you could button mash your way to victory. The combat was designed to make you think, to plan, and to use every move strategically. This approach didn't just add realism, it added a sense of intensity that made every encounter feel significant. As you progress, the game introduces you to Jin's internal struggle and the choice between following the samurai code and becoming the ghost. The samurai way values honor, facing enemies head on and fighting with discipline. But as the ghost, Jin uses stealth, deception, and fear to achieve his goals. This choice isn't a simple gameplay mechanic, it's a core part of Jin's evolution. Choosing to play as the ghost doesn't just impact how you fight, it shapes Jin's character, driving a wedge between him and the samurai ideals he was raised with. This duality, honor versus survival, makes every decision feel meaningful and adds emotional weight, the spirit of a, say, samurai. As the ghost, Jin also gains access to tools like smoke bombs, kunai, and poison darts, which allow for more tactical, stealthy approaches. This shift from honorable samurai to vengeful ghost isn't just a gameplay choice, it's a narrative one. We were showing Jin's gradual transformation and the sacrifices he makes to protect his people. Let's talk about the story itself. Jin's journey is more than just a mission to repel invaders, it's a personal battle between duty and identity. Raised by his uncle, Lord Shimura, Jin was taught to live by the sets such a samurai code, valuing honor and discipline. Lord Shimura embodies these ideals, and his relationship with Jin is central to the story. He's not just a mentor, he's a father figure, a man who raised Jin after his parents' deaths and taught him everything about the samurai way. Their relationship is complex and charged with emotion, as Jin's choices put him in direct conflict with Shimura's teachings. Shimura's disapproval of Jin's path as the ghost adds layers to their relationship, making it one of the most compelling parts of the game, one of the most memorable and impactful moments in Ghost of Tsushima is Jin's transformation into the ghost. This isn't a decision he takes lightly, and it's one that comes with consequences. Choosing to become the ghost means abandoning the samurai code, the values his uncle instilled in him, and it puts him at odds with everything he once believed. This internal conflict is reflected in the gameplay as Jin begins to use fear and subterfuge tactics the samurai would consider dishonorable. The game doesn't shy away from the cost of this transformation. You see it in Jin's strained relationship with Lord Shimura, in the way his people view him, and in the weight he carries as he sacrifices parts of himself for Tsushima's survival. It's this layered storytelling that makes Ghost of Tsushima more than just a game. It's a powerful narrative experience. Now let's explore the world of Tsushima, because it's a world that feels as alive and complex as any character. Sucker Punch didn't just create a beautiful environment, they crafted a place rich with history, culture, and life. Tsushima Island is a blend of lush landscapes, dense forests, towering mountains, and serene beaches. Each area is meticulously designed, and the attention to detail is astounding. The guiding wind mechanic I mentioned earlier plays a big role in this, encouraging players to explore the island naturally, following the wind rather than a blinking marker. And this approach allows for organic exploration, where you stumble upon hidden shrines, villages, and landmarks that add depth to the world and give you a sense of place. And the side content in Ghost of Tsushima is just as compelling as the main storyline. Each side mission and mythic tale adds layers to the narrative and helps you understand the world and its people. These aren't just tasks to complete, they're stories that flesh out Tsushima's culture, history, and legends. The mythic tales in particular are a standout feature, and they tell stories of legendary warriors and mystical abilities, offering unique rewards and giving you a sense of the island's rich lore. Completing these tales isn't just about gaining new skills, it's about becoming part of Tsushima's legends, about stepping into the role of a hero who will be remembered. After the game's release, Sucker Punch continued to expand Ghost of Tsushima with updates and new content. In August 2021, they released the director's cut, which introduced Iki Island, a new area with its own storyline, challenges, and characters. This wasn't just an expansion, it was a continuation of Jin's journey, a chance to delve deeper into his past and confront his own trauma. The Iki Island storyline explores Jin's relationship with his father and his struggle with guilt and grief, adding even more depth to his character. The director's cut also takes advantage of the PS5's capabilities with improved graphics, faster load times, and enhanced frame rates that make the world feel even more immersive. One of the standout features of Ghost of Tsushima is your BYC's MS WordPress necessary is attention to detail. From the art direction to the sound design to the voice acting, every element is carefully crafted to create an authentic and immersive experience. The game even includes a Kurosawa mode, a black and white filter that pays homage to the classic samurai films of Akira Kurosawa. This isn't just a gimmick, it's a testament to Sucker Punch's respect for the culture and history they're representing. The sound of Jin's katana slicing through the air, the swell of the music during key moments, like subtle details in the landscapes, all of it contributes to an experience that's as rich as it is unforgettable. The combat system in Ghost of Tsushima deserves its own soul, its own spotlight. Sucker Punch created a combat system that's challenging, rewarding, and deeply satisfying. This isn't a game where you can mindlessly hack and slash your way through enemies. Every encounter requires strategy, timing, and skill. Jin has access to multiple stances: stone, water, Wind and Moon, each suited to different enemy types. Switching between stances adds a layer of strategy to combat, as you have to adapt to each encounter and use the right stance to counter your enemy's moves. The standoff mechanic is another highlight, allowing you to challenge enemies to a quick draw duel that's as tense as it is cinematic. In addition to the main game in Iki Island, Ghost of Tsushima introduced Legends, a multiplayer mode inspired by Japanese mythology. Legends allows players to team up and face supernatural enemies, offering a unique experience that adds replayability and depth to the game. This mode brings an entirely new dimension to Ghost of Tsushima, with cooperative gameplay, mystical abilities, and a story that delves into the darker, more mystical side of Japanese folklore. It's a fantastic addition that shows Sucker Punch's commitment to creating a game that evolves and grows with its players. Looking forward, the upcoming sequel, Ghost of Yotei, promises to expand on everything that made Ghost of Tsushima great. Set in the 1600s in Hokkaido, the next game introduces a new protagonist and a new storyline, building on the legacy of the Ghost, with features like dual-wielding katanas, matchlock rifles, and a setting-rich indigenous culture. Ghost of Yotei has the potential to take the series to new heights. I can't wait to see how Sucker Punch builds on the foundation they've laid with Ghost of Tsushima and what new challenges they'll introduce. If you've made it this far, you know Ghost of Tsushima is more than just a game. It's an unforgettable journey that challenges ideas of honor, survival, and sacrifice. And if you're as hooked as I am, come join me live on Twitch at undrethyalpha, where I break down games like this, dive into the lore, and take on gameplay challenges with all of you in real time. Let's explore these incredible worlds together, so hit that like button, subscribe here, and then head over to Twitch to follow along live. Until then, stay strong, and I'll catch you on the battlefield. Keep slashing.